Hello grade 7, this is Mr. Mahmoud and we are having the first part of our social studies revision sheet. We have the normal multiple choice and let's start. Which of the following is found on the Arabian Peninsula? The largest sand desert in the world, the largest mountain range in the world, permanent rivers or tropical forests. The most important thing in the whole Arabian Peninsula, actually the remarkable thing is it has the largest sand desert in the world. So the right answer is A. Number 2, which country in the region is rich in mineral deposits? What do you think, guys? Yes, it is Iran. Actually, in Iran we can find minerals more than any other country in the region. Number 3, the poorest country in the region is, of course, it is Yemen. It is Yemen. And number 2, was Iran. Number 4, the Persian Gulf War began after Saddam Hussein invaded Iran, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, weapons of mass destruction were found in Iraq, the terrorist attack of September 11, 2001. The Persian Gulf War was exactly after Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. We know that Saddam Hussein had three wars. The first one was against Iran, and the second one called the Persian Gulf, which was against Kuwait, and in this war the USA and many other countries was involved, that they pushed Iraq or Saddam Hussein outside Kuwait, and actually Egypt was also involved in this war. And the third war, which was the USA and the European countries, or the most of the West countries, against Saddam Hussein. Number 5, which country in the region is mostly covered with plateaus and mountains? So this country is, of course, Iran. So here we know about Iran that it has more plateaus and mountains, and it has more minerals than the other countries in the region. Number 6, the name of the Rub al Khali desert in Saudi Arabia means, I think we are all Arab and we understand the meaning, empty quarter. Empty quarter. Number 7, the desert plains in the northern part of Arabian Peninsula are covered with, what do you think, guys? In the Arabian Peninsula and the northern part covered with what exactly? Exactly, it is volcanic rock. Number 8, the world's first civilization was located in present day Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia or Oman. It is in Iraq. So the first civilization ever was in Iraq. Which is true of the region's climate? It never snows. Temperatures are always hot. Days are hot and nights are cold. Some mountains peaks receive only 4 inches of rain per year. The whole region culture and climate is, we know that the days always hot and the nights are cold. That's summer or winter. And the region days Daytime is hot and the nighttime is cold. Number 10. Which country is made of 7 tiny kingdoms? Oman, Yemen, Bahrain, or United Arab Emirates? I think we can know it from the name only. Yes, it is United Arab Emirates. Number 11. One influence of Islam on the region is that boys and girls go to school together, many women own and run businesses, men and women wear clothes that cover their arms and legs, women after appear in public alone. What is the real effect that Islam did on our region? Of course, men and women wear clothes that covers their arms and legs. So it was about clothing. Number 12. Who has ruled Saudi Arabia since 1932? I will remind you who ruled till that time, 1932. Of course, since 1932 till today, members of Saudi family are ruling the Saudi Arabia. Number 13. Which country has the world's largest oil reserves? Which country has the largest oil reserves? What do you think? Of course, it is Saudi Arabia. Actually, Saudi Arabia land is major and the widest territory in the whole region. Therefore, we can find a lot of or big or large oil reserves. Number 14. What country took over the region of Mesopotamia during World War I? There was one country that already involved in this World War I, and it could control this part of the region, the Mesopotamia, which is actually Iraq. Which country do you think? Yes, it was Great Britain. Number 15. Which country is made up of a group of islands? Group of islands. Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, or Bahrain. From the name of this country, we will know that it is Bahrain. Actually, Bahrain is a country that is made up of group of islands. The Tigris and Euphrates are exotic rivers, meaning they begin in humid areas and flow through dry areas. They are partially located in tropical areas. They contain fossil water, or they were part of the world's first civilization. The Tigris and Euphrates are exotic rivers, meaning, guys, the idea of exotic rivers is that they begin in humid areas and flow through dry areas. The meaning here is not about the meaning of Tigris and Euphrates. It is the meaning of exotic river, just not to be confused. Number 17. The highest point on the Arabian Peninsula is in the mountains of Oman, on a plateau in the United Arab Emirates, in the mountains of Yemen, or in the dunes of Saudi Arabia. If you're gonna visit Yemen someday, you will find that Yemen mostly are plateaus and mountains. And actually, if you are in Yemen, you can hold the clouds with your hand. And Yemen has the most beautiful mountains and plateaus in the region, Yemen and Iran. But in Yemen especially, we can find the highest point on the Arabian Peninsula. So it is in the mountains of Yemen. Number 18. A well that contains fossil water will in time be replaced with rainwater, will eventually run dry, is usable for crops but not for human consumption, is a telling sign that there is oil nearby. So if there is fossil water, means what exactly? It means that this fossil water will dry someday. Guys, fossil water can't be replaced by the rain. Actually, that's why we call it fossil water. So the right answer is will eventually run dry. Number 19. A high concentration of oil fields is found in the volcanic area in north of Saudi Arabia, offshore in the Arabian Sea, in the deep desert of Saudi Arabia, near the shores of the Persian Gulf, where we can find mostly the oil fields in the region. We can find them near the shores of the Persian Gulf. We all know the Persian Gulf. We used to call it before the Arabian Gulf or the Arab Gulf, and on the shores of this Gulf we can find more oil fields. Number 20 and the last one, women are restricted in Saudi Arabia by not being allowed to drive cars, to own businesses, to go out in public, to make major purchases. What do you think? It was not it is. It was to drive cars because 2 years ago they allowed the women to drive cars. So number 20 will be the last one in this video, and we're gonna start from the next video, maybe 2 or 3 days, number 21. Thank you very much for listening and stay safe.